Let me tell you a story. In January 2017, I had a mental breakdown. I suffered for most of my life with anxiety and PTSD and found myself with a combination of life events, work, completely feeling overwhelmed, medication therapy not working. I ended up having a really long period of time off work. I was really unwell. I couldn't leave the house. I was incredibly emotional. I was in an extremely dark place, and I've never been in that place before. And so I wanted to share this with you, because often what we see on social media is a highlight reel, and what we don't see is the journey that people had to go on to get to the point where they are now. And so what I want to do with you today is tell you my journey of why I set Thrive Up and why I'm so passionate about mental health in the workplace. So in January, I had my breakdown. I was off work for quite a long time, and I eventually decided that I couldn't return to work and left my job with no job to go to, no income, a mortgage to pay. And actually it was a pretty scary time, because at the time I couldn't leave the house, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't really eat, I couldn't exercise. I was having panic attacks almost daily, and it was just an incredibly scary time to have that feeling of the loss of control in my entire life. And so I kind of, through my therapy, decided that actually working was one of the ways that I would assist my recovery. So what I decided to do was to set up as a consultant solicitor. So rather than working full time in an office in a law firm, I could work from home and pick the work I wanted to do. And that flexibility and that ownership over my work then saw my recovery speed up. And actually, before I knew it, I had a full caseload working for a couple of different law firms, actually working from home, but I could go to their office if I wanted. And I started, like, the fire in my belly started to go again. And I kind of thought back to why I started up as a solicitor, why I wanted to help people. And I just thought, you know what, I don't want anyone to go through what I've just been through. And if people were more educated and had a deeper understanding and a wider understanding of mental ill health and how they could support people, I could potentially help someone avoid being in the position that I've been in. So I started to do quite a lot of work with mental health charities. I'm an employment solicitor, so I advise on the law in that area. And having had my own breakdown, I think from that lived experience, that perspective, it just opened my eyes to different ways of dealing with things. So I decided that actually I can't really do what I want to do without my own brand, without my own voice and identity. Kind of working as a consultant, you're kind of in the background of a couple of firms, so you don't really have kind of a brand as such, because you're working for so many people. So I decided I was just going to take the jump. And I know, moment of madness, but I just thought, I'm going to set my own law firm up. And at this point I was only, it was the same year. So I had my breakdown in the January, left work in the April, started the consultancy in the May, and by the autumn I started a process where I thought, I have to do this, and something within me was just driving me. So I set up, I approached the SRA, that's our regulatory body, to ask to be a regulated law firm. And so many thoughts from my head: they're not going to let me, I'm too young, they're going to know about my mental health. Like, all these stupid negative thoughts that just weren't true overwhelmed me at the time, and I almost didn't do it on so many occasions because I wasn't quite ready. And at the time I was actually coming down off my medication. I'd gone up to 200 milligrams of sertraline a day, and I was trying to bring that down with a view to coming off the medication by Christmas time, because I knew I was going away for 2 weeks where I wouldn't have any work. So I had the challenge of the change in medication, the increase in work, and obviously the application process itself was quite onerous and something that I didn't really know what I was doing. So I went through all that process, and actually by the end of it, I was relieved to obviously send it off, but I didn't hear anything for a while. And I went away. I went to Mexico for Christmas, and the day I stopped taking my medication was Christmas Eve, and I received an email from the SRA saying, congratulations, you have a law firm. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, how have I got a law firm? So yeah, needless to say, 2017 started off as the worst year of my life and ended as probably one of the best at that point. So it just shows how nothing is permanent, and things can genuinely change. But that wasn't it. I'd only got the authority. And so what I then had to do was do a business plan and just go through the whole rigmarole of setting up a firm, which I'm going to do another video on. But what I really wanted to do was have mental health at the heart of everything that we did. So it was part of the culture, it was part of the foundations, and that's why I called it Thrive. I want everybody to thrive, to be themselves, truly themselves in a law firm, which is quite unheard of in our sector. And Thrive was born on the 1st of March 2018, and we've been going now for just over 2 years, and that has been a roller coaster. There have been moments where I've nearly given up. There have been days where I haven't been able to get out of bed, but it's kept me going. It's given me a sense of purpose, and we've helped thousands and thousands of people who could have been in the position that I've been, or who have almost been there. And we've helped them get out of those situations and into new jobs or get settlements. So my message to you for Mental Health Awareness Week, in line with this year's theme, is be kind. Be kind to you, be kind to your friends and family, and be kind to those around you. Kindness is everything for me. If I was kinder to myself at the time, and even now I still criticise myself more than I should, and it's acknowledging those negative self-beliefs and changing that mindset and that thought process. If we're kind to others, that helps our recovery process. And as I said before, it's really part of a cycle, and kindness is a huge part of that for me. Small acts of kindness go a long way, and it's always the little things that really make a difference with your mental health. We all have mental health, and let's help each other to keep mentally healthy and not decline into mental ill health. It can impact on anybody at any time, and right now is really, really difficult for people. So let's all stick to this together, and hopefully this message has reached some of you and given you a little bit of hope to move forward this week. If anyone's got any questions, please do leave the comments below, and I hope to hear from you guys soon. Thank you.